looking at the Petzl GriGri 2. I never owned the GriGri 1, but I own the GriGri 2. For general purpose, some people like to call this a BRD, belay rappel device. I wouldn't classify it as that. Based on what I've had for the experiences of it, I would say that this is more or less just a belay device. It is an auto-locking because it has that that ability to cam itself up, kind of like a seatbelt in your car. So that's nice. So you don't really, you can put somebody down below that maybe gets kind of sidetracked. He's still at least going to be, as long as he's tightening the rope, you shouldn't have too much of a problem in the sense of, you know, having a weak person down at the bottom if you're, you know, just above the Jesus nut, so that the pick your belayer up off the ground, which I've had in the past. So when it comes to general purpose of this, if I was going to just base this off of being just a belay device, I would give it a 5. But since some people like to actually use this to rappel, I personally wouldn't. And considering that I really, I don't use it that often because of the, when it comes to pulling somebody up or down when you're letting them down, and unless they're coming down a vertical hang, it does have a tendency to be a little sticky, so that you're trying to kind of adjust with the lever here to bring them down a little bit faster or slower, depending on, you know, how fast they want to come down. And if they're not coming down a vertical hang, it does have a tendency to stick, and you can overcompensate. Then they're coming down too fast, so it's not very smooth. So I'm going to give this a 3 in the sense of purpose. Yeah, it will belay you. It will stop you if you're going to fall, but you also have to let people down too. And that that controlling fluctuation of how fast and how slow you're going to go, if it's not on a vertical overhang drop, then it can be kind of a pain. So when it comes to dependability, well, it is dependable. I haven't had it not stop anybody yet, and I've even gone as far as to do a couple tests, you know, not too high off the ground, but to see if it can hold somebody while I'm not even on it at all, just to really test that cam on there, and it works very well. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 for that one. Not going to give it a perfect score, only because I don't know, I just don't have a whole lot of trust when it comes to trusting a mechanical piece of gear. I want to trust that person below, and I think this may put the impression on somebody below that they don't have to be as aware of what's going on, and that's definitely something that you don't want to take away from somebody. But yes, it does work, so I'm going to give it a 4. I picked it up at REI for about $100, and I haven't put too much use on it, but you know, it does do what it's supposed to do. It is an auto belaying. It's an auto belaying device, and it's Petzl. They always make great gear. So, recommended. Just be careful on those routes that are not, when you're doing something that's on a top rope, be careful of the routes for people that are coming down, and it's not a complete vertical face, because it can stick and create some issues on the descent.